Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to Beer Geek Nation. Thank you so much for joining me once again. All right guys, we are going back to Samuel Adams' world. This is another one of the beers in their Imperial series. This is actually the newest one, just came out maybe about 2-3 months ago. This is their Wee Heavy, coming in at 10% alcohol by volume. It's a Scotch Ale, just a huge malty Scotch Ale, not to be confused with a Scottish Ale. Two completely different things. A Scottish Ale usually tends to fall on the lower ABV scale of a quote Scottish beer, between about 4.5% to 6% usually. Scotch ales tend to go from about 7 to whatever percent. They're bigger Scottish ales, but there is a definite delineation between the two, and this is actually a bigger version of a Scotch Ale, the Wee Heavy, which is traditionally the biggest Scottish beer made. They go by the shilling method based on the alcohol tax, 90 shilling, 80 shilling, 60 shilling. And that's what they used to pay. Long story short, let me get into a glass so you know it smells, tastes, and give you guys the verdict on the Samuel Adams Wee Heavy. Right at the bottom there, where the light hits the curvature of the glass, you're getting a nice dark blood red. So it kind of really pays off to use a glass like a snifter, a tulip glass like this. Nice carbonation. There was about 1.5 fingers worth of an off-white khaki colored head, which is kind of strange for a Wee Heavy, but I'll go with it. Really, really dark beer. It's a dark mahogany, a super dark brown, like almost verging on a stout kind of color. But a little bit darker than I would have expected, but it has those kind of Wee Heavy qualities that I would like. So it's a nice looking beer. Big caramel notes, toffee, roasted malts. There's a nice smokiness coming through in this one. Definitely some peated malt added in there. Definitely some alcohol, 10%. I would expect that, so that's all right. Caramel, breadiness, toffee, smoked peat. I'm in, you sold me. So let's give it a taste. All right, guys, so the taste on the Wee Heavy from Sam Adams. Cheers. Right at the front of the tongue, you get that big kind of roasted caramel toffee sweetness. It follows through from the tip of the tongue all the way to the back of the throat. Big breadiness just coating your mouth, makes your mouth salivate. My mouth is really salivating right now. There's definitely an alcohol burn in this one, and that's one of the big components I'm actually tasting right now. And I gotta tell you, there's a decent amount of, I don't want to say smoke, but it's a peated malt, a smoked malt coming through in this one in the form of kind of it's just a very light smoke, kind of like smelling of somebody burning a fire kind of a couple miles off and you're getting wafts of it in the air. It's that kind of flavor, and it actually blends really nicely with the caramel and the toffee and kind of the sweetness to kind of balance it out. It's a nice tasting beer. The alcohol kind of helps to clean the palate. The carbonation is good enough in this one to help clean the palate, because these ones will just sit on your tongue and kind of ruin the palate if you're not careful. So it's not the best tasting Scotch ale I've ever had, but it's really, really solid. All right, guys, so the final verdict on the Sam Adams Wee Heavy, part of their Imperial series, coming in at 10% alcohol by volume, available in 4-packs. Get it now. It is out. I'm going to give this one, I think, a solid B, a middle-of-the-road B. Big caramel notes. There's that peated smoke kind of quality to it. Nice alcohol, nice carbonation. Really, really blends together. Give you a solid middle-of-the-road B. My problem is it's very generic. And that's kind of the problem with this style. Well, that's not entirely true. I just think it's a very safe Wee Heavy, if that makes any sense. I think, there's no attempt to really kind of elevate it. But that's why it's getting a B. It is a very, very good example of the style. So if you're new to the Beer Geek Nation, the Beer Geek scene, and you guys want to check out different styles, it's a perfect Scotch Ale, perfect Wee Heavy. With that said, life's too short. Drink amazing beers. Cheers.